Good morning, neighbors, friends, whatever. If you remember, 2 weeks ago, we did some brewing and you were involved in the process. I wanted to show you this next step since we can't get together at the moment. You remember we were brewing a wheat beer, primarily wheat beer, that was going to be infused with lemongrass. So I'm going to show you a little bit about this process and how we're going to transfer into secondary fermentation. So we'll try to keep this video as short as possible. But anyway, I got some lemongrass here. You can buy this at Woodman's in the fresh herb section. All right, this is what it looks like. Kind of weird. It's like a root. So I'm just going to basically cut this up. Oh, where's my knife? Okay, hold on. Here's my knife. I'm going to cut this up in little chunks, and I'm going to chop it up. And for that, oh my God, that stuff is been getting weaker, I guess, with this coronavirus. If you don't have this instrument, by the way, this is a Pampered Chef chopper. You should get it. I get kind of some credit for that. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of this, and I'm going to chop this up. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, so now you can see I've got chop right here. And then I'm going to put that in this secondary fermentation vessel. So I'm just going to actually put it right in there like that. So then I'm going to show you in a little bit. We're going to transfer the beer into here, but it'll be infused then with that lemongrass. Okay, so now I am down in the basement. You may remember that when we left off the brew process 2 weeks ago, this is what you saw. You saw the brew pail, or the primary fermentation, with the little airlock, and it was bubbling out like this. I've had some really good action all 2 weeks, so very happy with this. So if I took the top off of this one, if you look in here, you will actually see, they call that the trub line right here. And that is where the beer was, and we've lost that much from the, evaporation, I guess, and the yeast working its way. Doesn't look very appetizing at the moment, but anyway, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna transfer it. You saw me cut up the lemon, what do we call it? The lemon stuff, and put it in this particular pail or whatever. I'm struggling for words, I guess. We're gonna do is show you how we transfer this. So this is a little siphon kind of a thing. You put that in here. You make sure that that's down in there. Whoop. Okay. And you start siphoning it by pumping this. And then you let that go. So, all that goodness, all that lemongrass being combined and released into the beer. So the beer is flowing from here. I will transfer all of this, which is less than 5 gallons, but close to 5 gallons, into that. And then the other thing, if you guys remember, we measure alcohol content by the difference in buoyancy before and after fermentation. So what I'm actually going to do at the moment, I am going to take some of this out of here. This is where this could get messy. Don't tell Cindy. And put some of this in here so that I can measure this. Probably too much. Okay, and then you put that in here. I guess it would have helped had I not had that in there. Okay. Okay. All right, I'll get back to you with the measurement, okay? This is a little tricky. Okay, we're almost done transferring. You can see that we're getting pretty good volume on here. I also wanted to show you that I measured the new gravity, the specific gravity of this And this meter says 1.01. It's kind of a little hard to read, but 1.01. And what you do is I have my meticulous notes, my brew notes here. That's finishing. My meticulous brew notes, we started this whole process with a specific gravity of 1.046. They call that the original gravity. And we're going to end, at least at this point, we'll probably still get a little more fermentation in the next 2 weeks, but at 1.01. And if you go to a handy-dandy website and punch in those numbers, you'll notice you specify the original gravity here, the final gravity here, and then voila, it does all this fanciness and calculates your ABV, your alcohol by volume. So we've got a respectable 4.73. I think that's great for a wheat beer. Probably we want to be somewhere between 4 and 4.73. So we're perfect. Just one other thing I want to show you, and then I think we're done, is at the bottom of this, you'll note a lot of gunk. You see all that gunk? That's just leftover, wheat and barley and yeast and all that stuff. So anyway, the last part of this is put that in there. And then I'm going to put the airlock on this. So a little bit different looking thing, but same principle. So that locks that now airtight. And this will bubble up if it starts activating the yeast. So there you have it. Our beer is looking pretty darn good and is going to be ready in about 2 weeks and 3 days. So like President Trump, I'm hoping we can get together for Easter. All right. No political jokes here. Not in this environment. So anyway, hope you guys are all doing great. And that's kind of the end of the brew process. Secondary fermentation. Talk to you later. Bye. Oops. One most important thing about brewing, and that is to understand your raw product before it gets to its final destination. So, where we measured the specific gravity, or the final gravity, I'm going to give it a try. You're going to like that, especially when it gets carbonated and cold and with lemongrass. Cheers.